but they sit you asshole first on the tip of the pyramid, and they let gravity just pull you down, and it starts slowly ripping your asshole.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Cancellable Podcast. My name is Bart. What the fuck happened?
I pulled my eyebrow out, man.
Please don't spit on the mic.
Swallow.
Just swallow.
Swallow, bitch.
Jesus. So demanding. Man.
I just a look on his face. He went like,
Bro, I did this,
Yeah.
and I pulled like 3 hairs. I was like, what the fuck?
your eyebrows are joining your head.
Your future.
I know it's coming. Every time I look down and the light hits it, I can see it in the edit. I'm like, oh, fuck.
That's why I always look up when we talk. Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Bro, it's too late for you. Like, even if you don't look down, like, come on, like, we see it.
I thought maybe it's like Everest to the summit. I can't see the top, but there's got to be hair up
the
there.
proof you should show to the flat earthers. It's like, you see this? Can you see if I have hair in the back or not? No, curve. That's how it works.
So funny. Start.
So my name is Bardia.
What the fuck? Is it AA meeting? What the fuck?
What do you mean? I gave the intro. We talk. I'm saying my name is Bardia.
Where's the intro?
I
Gave the intro already.
Did he give? I didn't fucking hear you say the intro.
You're pulling out your eyebrows.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hi guys, my name is Kurosh
And
Space Out.
our friend
that is
going,
an AA meeting. It's facial.
our friend going through chemo is face.
Who's there? Oh, jeez. Oh, my man. We're not going to make it 5 minutes in.
Yeah, no.
Let's restart.
Sorry, I couldn't breathe for a second. Let's just jump right into it. Okay, can you guys not stare at me like this? I feel like
You look like you're about to make an announcement.
no, man,
I was so concerned. What do you want to say? I'm like,
no, I was like, let's just start the cameras and start talking because like Kurosh was so pissed off that he was gonna kill people, and I'm like, what's the most fucked up way people killed each other? And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, let's start the cameras and we can start the episode.
Yeah.
So what are the most fucked up ways to kill each other? To kill
To
people.
each other.
whoa. I like what we said. We all love each other.
What's the most fucked up way or what's my favorite way? If
Okay.
I was hypothetically.
Hypothetically,
Yeah.
yes, not like.
Bro, 10 years from now, they play this in
Bro,
court.
there has to be a disclaimer. You see,
Yeah.
you see Badia standing there in like a room with light. Murder is bad.
Bro,
We don't condone.
have you seen that show, Judge and Jury or some shit? Like, it's
Judge
courtroom. Judge Judy, yeah.
Judge you-
So the lady had a security guard. You know how they always have security in the court? Bailiff. Right, thank you.
Is bailiff?
Yeah, so they show that in one of the many episodes they shot, this guy is talking about his marriage and everything, and then it points to the bailiff and says, like, oh, look how you're always, like, frowning, you must be in a bad marriage. Cuts to 15 years later, he murdered his wife, and he's in orange jumpsuit going to prison.
Really?
You didn't see this on TikTok?
No.
and shit?
So the guy was like, look at this guy. Wow. That guy
Yo,
should
by
become
the
a
way,
detective.
that guy should, yeah, exactly.
detective.
Yeah, but this is going to be us, like, 10 years from now. Like,
No, let's. We're gonna be on the watch list. Like,
that reminds me.
we're Iranians.
Bro,
We're already on
that
the watch
reminds me
list,
of
bro.
something. There was this really funny. It was like an actual BBC bulletin, right? So it's like just in, and then you see at the bottom it says that what were the last words of a stabbed victim, and they say, "What are you gonna do? Stab me?" And they actually put it on the screen. They were like, his last words were, "What are you gonna do? Stab me?"
Wait, so they got that quote from the person that stabbed him?
Yeah, no, because apparently he passed away.
Yeah, I know,
And
but
they found out that like what led to the altercation.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you gonna do? Stab me?
I mean, okay, I guess. Like, I didn't want to, but okay. Like, what are you gonna do? Stab me again? What are you gonna do? Steal my watch and cut off my wrist? I mean, like, stop giving me instructions.
That is Bardia. That is.
to be fair, his last words would be
Apparently, you defecate yourself before you die. I don't know if it's true. It was in a South Park episode.
I think it depends on how you're dying.
It was in a Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode too. Like when the assassin was there, it was like, yeah, usually when people get shot, like and die,
Yeah.
not like live. Like
Yeah.
apparently they like either piss themselves or like
When
shit
they get
themselves.
shot and they live, like, no, they won't shoot themselves.
No, I mean like you can get shot and survive. Like
Yeah, but
There are attempts and then there's success. Like, what do you call it? Like,
we never strive for failure. You're saying so. We
Whoa.
double tap. we double tap. Okay, I got you.
so what are the ways?
Yeah, my favorite one.
How about you? Okay, yeah, favorite.
My favorite one that I've read about, not that I've practiced it or anything.
No one assumed until we said it.
Well,
or-
based on the conversation we've had so far,
Okay.
I think it's called a Bloody Eagle. It's a Viking one,
So
and
lame.
I know you know it, but
I know too.
Yeah, okay, good for you. But for the listeners,
For the audience, like
yeah.
we should imagine we're like, oh, we know it. Okay, thank you for listening. Like-
No, but it's very graphic, and if you want, search up some pictures of it. But no, we're not putting a
we
picture.
can't.
Oh, we can.
I don't know,
Just blur it out.
I prefer not. What's the point of putting a picture? Blur it out. Like, hey guys, here's the picture.
It just looks like a bunch of Minecraft photos.
Yeah, no. So they tie the guy up in kind of like a crucifix position, like the same position, and then as he's alive, they start chopping at his back, breaking his ribs, opening his ribs while he's alive, and just start pulling out the intestines and shit.
No, and they grab the lungs and they hang it.
Yeah.
On
That
the-
well,
on
usually they die before it reaches there,
Yeah.
but that's the goal.
From what I knew, I thought that they also peel the skin from the back. They don't like just.
I mean, in order to reach the ribs, they need
Yeah.
to peel the
no, but
skin.
peeling is different. Like you could take
no,
an axe.
It's not a very like a savage thing that like they just go at it. It's very like I wouldn't say delicate, but like
It's
the,
a, no, but,
but
it's
the
a
point is to
ritual.
keep him alive.
yeah, yeah.
The
but
point
it
is to keep him alive, as long as you can.
But the reason it's a ritual is because ritual because if the person who's receiving the bloody eagle doesn't scream,
They go to Valhalla or something like that.
they go to Valhalla, which is their heaven. So if they stay quiet while their rib cage is being opened up and their lungs being like hung on their ribs, they're gonna go to heaven. So I don't know. You stub your toe, you're like, ouch. Like, I don't know how you're gonna. Let me break it in the ribs. I'm like,
I got a headache, man. Let's go.
But yeah, that's my favorite one.
Awkward silence. That's my favorite one.
so Faisal, do you have a favorite?
I don't think I have a favorite. I think
He's gonna be like, I like it when they inject them with medication so they go out peacefully, and then you just see me with
No.
an axe. Just like,
no. I wouldn't say I have a favorite one, but I have one that I would not. I think I have actually two, which
personal
are
experience with
which no, not personal experience, but reading about it is kind of really messed up. I think one of them it's called the Raging Bull, if I'm not mistaken, and it was used by the Romans to punish war not war criminals but public enemies, right? And criminals who had done such horrible things, which was you would have this iron bull that was hollow on the inside, and like it would be sealed completely except its nostrils. Yeah. And then you would have a hatch on top where you'd put the person inside where he could barely move, right? And then you'd heat up the bull. So they would keep it in an area where the sound could be heard, so it sounds like the bull is roaring. But it's the guy burning alive. Yeah. That
Do
one.
you burn or you like kind of
cook.
cook?
You
Yeah,
do-
but it's
no,
not like
you do-
it's not like a slow cook. Like it's
Yeah,
kind of like
it's
a pressure
not a smoker.
cooker.
It's like,
Yeah.
no, but remember that like the thing is all metal, so your skin starts sticking to it
yeah.
because it's burning at such a high degree.
I think the Chinese had something similar to this. They would take, I think it was from China, but they would take like a furnace and have a really long like chimney, like a metal chimney, and they would handcuff your hands and feet to the top of the chimney. So as it would get hot, you start just like melting into the piping at the top of it.
I think I heard about that one also.
Yeah.
But also another one I wouldn't want to do was, Vlad Tepes, Vlad Tepes was the original inspiration for Dracula. So Vlad Tepes was a Romanian count where he used to, for his enemies, he would take a log and insert it in their anus and then make it go all the way either. So he would try to avoid all the organs and make it either come out of the person's mouth or come out from a hole on the side here. They'd make a hole. And you would stand there for like 3 or 4 days and gravity would kill you
Because
because
it's like a weird operation game.
No, but dude, it's messed up.
Instead of taking out the organs, you just like,
No, but imagine this. I think he was like the world's first serial killer that was notorious because he had done it to over 15,000 people and left it. He left them out there as a message to the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. So he lost the battle.
15,000 people?
Bro, I think even more.
in one go or
In one
through
go.
his lifetime.
No, in one go. Like so when he lost the capital, Wallachia, I think it's called Wallachia at the time. They called it Wallachia. He retreated and he took everyone in the village and also the Ottoman prisoners and the
Everyone.
kids and stuff, and he impaled all of them. And apparently, that when they saw it, the Sultan himself like crumbled to the ground and cried because of what he saw. Like people were still alive, and imagine so you're stuck up there, you don't have water or anything, and gravity, your weight is pushing you more and more down. So apparently after that he had to go back to all.
Do you think at that point you try to kill yourself faster? Like keep moving around, hopefully you bleed to death or something?
Bro, I don't even think you can move around because it's in such a way that, okay, yeah, maybe. I sort of think, do you think that whatever your body has some natural defense where you go into a trance or something like that? Like,
Yeah,
is there a
100%.
point where your body overrides all the pain to let you at least
Yeah.
Go
Because when people about like one of the most horrific ways to die apparently is like being burnt to alive, and apparently when you are like the fire is surrounding you and you're burning, at one point you become numb and it overrides and it just gives up because it's not as long lasting as people think. Like people say that drowning is actually
most
takes
painful.
longer because like you're slowly losing oxygen. Your lungs are slowly being filled with water, and then you suffocate. It's much slower. Like being buried alive and drowning is much worse than that one.
because if you think about it, like I saw these videos before of people who got shark attacks, and a shark would take a big piece out of you, but these people never felt pain. They always felt like an initial like shock,
Yeah.
and then they go numb.
I
But
guess the
they-
adrenaline kind of.
Yeah, so
and
do
the
you-
blood loss.
Oh yeah.
No, but the adrenaline would do it first, and then afterwards they sort of the pain comes. Like I'm sure you've broken something, and in the beginning, oh, alhamdulillah, like you haven't, but in the beginning that happens, and then me when I stab myself with a spear gun, in the beginning you didn't feel anything. Like you feel like a numbness, and then later on the pain starts coming and coming. Like it's
Wait, can we hold up for a second?
Yeah.
You haven't told us about this.
I told you this.
No?
No, oh okay.
No, you just dropped that. When I stabbed myself.
My
with a
brother and I used to go spear fishing in the Palm.
Okay.
My brother and I were going into a little bit of deep water, and we had the spear. So it's a spear that's attached to your elbow,
Right.
right? And you cock it in a way that like you've pulled it.
Feels good.
You cock it in a way that it's relying on the tension of your arm. So when you extend, it shoots out. Yeah. It's
Like
like,
a mix
Assassin's
of.
Creed kind of.
I was gonna say it's a mix of Spider-Man and Assassin's Creed.
yeah, but it's very long. And
Yeah.
the reason because you've cocked it all the way to here. And what happened is that when I was swimming with my brother, I let go by accident, so it hit my chin. Like it bounced off my chin and then went right into my hand.
How thick is your skull that bounced the thing?
So,
Like, what the
so
fuck?
luckily, like I remember it cut me a little bit here. Like I was very lucky. Like it bounced off because I think it hit like while it was going. The back part of it hit my chest and just went straight into my hand. And
Like it went through?
yeah, so it went through. Which one here? In my right hand, it went into my like one of the barbs went into my finger and wrapped around my bone and was sticking out the other side. The other one cut me like in between here. So
Shit.
yeah, it's in between the fingers. I didn't feel anything. All I felt, and you know what I did? My brother said he saw. I just started trying to pull it in the
that's
water.
worse, yeah.
Yeah, but apparently, like the spear was really good because it did its job. It wrapped itself around
Yeah.
my bone. So if I tried pulling, it was just
More damage.
Yeah. So I didn't feel anything. Swam back to shore. I was like in shock, and I was looking at my hand, and I'm like, the first thing I thought in my head, I'm like, my dad's gonna kill me. Didn't think about anything else. I was like, my dad's gonna kill me. So I told my brother, just call, like, try to avoid my dad and get my mom. My dad finds out, comes outside, sees it. My dad's very chill. He's like, get the saw, because you have to saw off the barb.
Oh my god, he's going for your finger. Yeah, fuck it.
Which finger? Which hand? Is it the
Like a John
dominant
Wick
hand?
thing.
No, actually, what was even worse was that when it was attached to my hand, he had to saw it so the vibrations carried to my bone and my nerves. So that was the most painful pain I had felt. And then after that, I was starting getting throbbing pain, but I would say at night was the worst, bro. They had to put me on so much. Imagine you're looking at your hand and you just see all your nerves sticking out. Like it severed everything. So till I think
You're very lucky.
yeah.
Do you have full function? Like,
My what's this, the ring middle finger, my middle
Yeah.
finger, I couldn't feel it for I think nearly 10 years.
holy fuck. And he came back after 10
Yeah,
years?
yeah, it's still
Nerve
it's
regeneration takes a long time, but the fact that you were able to gain it back. I mean, it took a fucking while, but like the fact that you were able to gain it back is a big deal. Because
man.
in general, like they say, like up to from 6 months to a year, that's how long they like count on it to come back.
no man.
But if it doesn't, and the fact that you have like the motor function,
Yeah.
that itself is a
But that's the thing. Like, I still like if I push to certain points, I don't feel anything. But I can still move it and stuff. So
that's good.
You know.
Are you left-handed or right?
left-handed.
Oh, okay.
So I was
that's-
lucky.
So what's your favorite torture method?
I don't have a favorite.
Sure
I
you
mean,
do.
Torture method is
Or, no,
different.
sorry, killing.
Like torture method, because like you know when you get pissed at someone, you're like I don't want them to die, but like I really want them like to shove. I always thought that like one of the most fucked up thing I can do to someone is that grab a very like the screwdriver and push it into the knee scalp, like a knee scalp. That's what it's called.
Kneecap.
Kneecap.
Scap.
Kneecap. You can push it like into it and then to the elbows, like into that where.
Oh, I
like,
thought you went from the knees to the elbows.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no,
that's
you
a
push
long
it in between
screwdriver.
and then
yeah.
you put like not even like a screw, like maybe grab a screw and keep you know, like slowly. So I was like, maybe I can do that, but one that I heard was I think the Indians did this was that they
Hot sauce.
What?
They put hot sauce on it.
Where?
on the cuts.
Oh my god, that's not even like killing. No, it's the bamboo ones.
Oh, yeah, that
it's
one's pretty
similar
good,
to
yeah.
the ones that you were talking about. By the way, sorry, going back to that, remember the movie Dracula?
Yeah, Vlad Tepes.
Yeah. I think that's like they actually put it in the movie where he
Yeah,
like
but they
put
make him. Yeah, but they make him seem like a good guy. They're like, oh yeah, you know, he did this because of his love and stuff.
yeah, but
Bro, you gotta listen to both sides, you know.
you
Dude,
never know.
every side says he was the bad guy. It's like,
I mean, he
Not
killed
his side.
15,000
That's
people.
one side.
I'm sure if you ask him, like,
One
the justification.
against, you know.
dude, you know what he? Okay, well, we'll talk about it later.
The bamboo one is that they will put a person like penetrate them from the.
they lay them flat and they.
Oh, they laid them flat. I thought
Yeah.
they sat them on the
No,
bamboo, and
well,
the
there's
bamboo
different
would
versions.
slowly grow.
No, you're mixing that with the pyramid one. So.
Whoa.
No, so the one I know is I think. I don't remember which country this is from. I think Japan. I'm not sure though. They. Don't give me that look. So they lay the person flat on the ground and plant the bamboo seeds under them. And the bamboo seed it grows relatively fast, but not like it doesn't grow a huge amount in one day. So this starts growing day after day, start slowly punching through their body, and they can do it with like multiple bamboos, but it takes a good amount of time till it penetrates through your skin and goes through your organs. So
How
you
long is
last
the person sitting there?
as long as it takes till they die. But it's a long
No, but bamboo doesn't sprout out like in 3 days.
yeah, it's for days. They feed them and everything, but yeah. But the one
Can
you
you
were talking
refuse to get fed? Like at that point, I feel like you rather get starved. Oh yeah.
The force feed you.
Can you imagine? I'm not feeling it today.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and like you cannot eat for 30 days and still live.
Yeah.
And with water, you just shove it down your throat.
I just bite my tongue then.
But you still can drink water.
No, if you bite your tongue, you die.
That yeah. Or maybe they
You still drink water.
Yeah. But the pyramid one is I don't remember what the pyramid was made out of, but they sit you asshole first on the tip of the pyramid and they let gravity just pull you down and it starts slowly ripping your asshole.
Your anus.
Yeah, your anus.
Anus
Yeah, your icos gets ripped apart.
gigantus.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that one's pretty bad too.
Oh god, my icos and my anus.
You know, another one was the rat one. The one that they grab, they put what is it, like starved rat or something? Like
No, no.
Bucket
And they heat up the bucket.
and then the rats go crazy, so they start crawling up and like
Scratching your organs,
you.
yeah.
They look for a way out because the bucket is getting hot. So and the only way through is your flesh,
And it's
Yeah.
soft.
So they start eating through your stomach.
Dude.
That was rough, but that was quick.
Yeah, quicker than a bamboo.
Yeah,
Like
or a pyramid
No,
up your
no,
ass.
But the
the
thing is,
pyramid
that,
up your ass
the
is
thing is-
like gravity is doing the job.
Yeah, it's not a one day thing.
Yeah, but it's they are growing a bamboo from seed. I'm pretty sure.
No,
it's
I'm
still
comparing it to
faster.
the rat one.
No, I'm saying in general. I feel like the longest duration one is the bamboo one.
they even have that. We I think we discussed about this. We mentioned it briefly. Was the one that the Persian Empire used to use, where they used to get like a pond, and they would put you in a boat in that pond, and the boat would be filled with honey and some other sweetener, right? And you'd be doused in that, and they would keep you on the boat, not allowing you to come out. Oh, milk. Also, they put milk, and all the insects would be attracted to that and lay their eggs and start
Okay,
eating.
So you're missing a key component to this. It's either a boat or
I
they.
love how anything that we're mentioning, you're like, wait. Let me
Yeah,
explain
man,
in
it's
more
making me feel.
details.
You're missing a.
No, so the old Persian Empire. This is okay. Let me
It
start.
was like the worst way to go.
The old, according to the Greeks. According to the Greeks, old Persian Empire, they would do this. They would take tree trunks and hollow it out, and they would feed you a whole shitload of honey and milk, so you get diarrhea. And also, they would open your flesh, either skin you completely or little bits and pieces. They would stuff you into this trunk of the tree, and also fill that with honey as well. So then, not only you're shedding in that like confined space, and you're sitting in your shit.
Yeah, and it gets
you have
septic.
open cuts. Yeah, and also you have open cuts, so you get infected. But they can't if you don't die within the first day or two, and they leave you in a pond that's like with a still water, so it's shitload of bugs.
Mosquitoes and all this. Yeah.
And if you don't die, they just keep feeding you milk and honey till you keep defecating on your Like it's just a
Yeah.
horrible.
There's like
horrible-
4 or 5 ways you're going. Either from septic poisoning,
Yeah.
which is from the feces, or you're dying from overeating on sugar.
No, dehydration.
Oh,
Because of
yeah.
all the diarrhea you get.
Yeah, and God, man, that's
Damn.
dude. Who do you think comes up with this? Is like one guy.
Persians.
No, but like.
I mean, like, imagine like you really want to fuck with people, right?
Imagine you have like a Persian general sitting there, yeah, and his kids having honey and milk, and he goes, a little more. No, Baba, I don't want any more, please. I feel a little more. And he tries it. We got something here. Do you have diarrhea?
Idea.
Do you have diarrhea? Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, but
Mama,
get the tree trunk.
you know that tree you want to cut down?
Oh
I want
my
to try something.
God.
Azizan, let's go outside for a second.
No man, that's crazy. Or imagine being the first person. Oh, it worked. God.
You know how many people like thought they can, about the whole getting buried alive? That's one of the worst fucking ones, right? Like, other than the ancient like empires trying to torture and kill people, like the current ones, like the burning and all that. You know how many people thought that they can get out of getting buried alive after watching Kill Bill? Remember how she like
Yeah.
managed to get out of it?
I never watched Kill Bill.
Bro,
Bro, you need to watch
you
it.
need, you need to watch a lot of movies. You need to
No.
watch a lot. But
I
the-
don't like Tarantino movies. I've only like one so far.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
overrated.
The pain.
Overrated.
What about Pulp Fiction?
No,
Which one did you
I
like?
watched it, but I don't like
Which one did you like?
it. The Django.
Oh, yeah.
Django.
That's
Django.
it.
The
And Django Unchained.
Yeah, that one. Once upon a time in Hollywood was alright. The rest is just
I think Tarantino's movies are style.
Have you seen Hateful Eight?
no. Clearly, I just told you I don't watch his movies.
Oh, okay.
Like if I see him on the advertisement that says it's a Tarantino movie, I don't watch it.
I think you should watch Hateful
I don't
Eight
like
as
his
well.
style. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like how cocky he is. I just don't like his shit.
I mean,
But speaking of, well, it's not Tarantino related, but how we were talking about like people coming up with like fucking
Yeah.
weird ways of like killing people. Have you guys heard of what was his name? Ed Gein.
no.
I don't think he was categorized as a serial killer. Do you know about him?
No.
Okay, so this guy, his name was Ed Gein, and I think he was a weird kid and shit. But at some point.
So this is the backstory.
yeah.
Did you like that? Like so unnecessary. He was a weird kid and shit.
No,
like,
I didn't do research on him. I just remember reading about this a while ago. I think he was like trying to trap women to get them to the house to kill them and rape them and shit. But when he got caught and the police came
One
to
second, sorry. Because I want to also tell you about something related to this. Trigger warning, guys, from now on. Like, continue. We have to give trigger warnings.
Oh,
Apparently.
okay. All right. Sure. Yeah.
So kill him and shit, okay?
Yeah. So once he got caught, I don't remember the whole story, but once he got caught, the police came to his house and they found out that he was making like furniture pieces and like face masks and all of that from the women. I think he killed like 2-3 women from them, and also he would like rob graves, take the dead bodies out, and like out of their skin make like a face mask or.
I think that's where they got Texas Chainsaw Massacre from.
Yeah. That one, it was like fuck, what was the name of the movies?
Jason?
Friday the 13th?
But that's Jason.
Yeah, that's
Jason.
I was saying the movie.
No, actually, I think
Leatherface.
Psycho. I think Psycho was from that as well. Apparently, it was written. It wasn't like it was inspired by it, by the story of this guy Ed Gein. Yeah, but I can imagine robbing a grave. The body's already decomposing. Like I don't know, ripping their face skin off and then wearing it as a mask.
Was he like a
Taxidermist.
He was a weird guy. And no.
Taxidermist. So, a person that takes dead things makes them into leather.
Like stuffed animals.
Yeah. Oh. Like he also can make the skin into leather.
But I remember there was a funny part about his story that, it's not funny, but when he was young, when he was in his teenage years, I think he had a younger brother, and they call the police and they say that the younger brother is missing. He calls the police, sorry. And there's a mysterious fire in their house or in their farm or some shit. And when the police comes, first they're like, "Where's your brother?" He's like, "I don't know, but let me walk you that way." And it takes them right to the body, and he's like, "Here's the body." He's like, "You just called us and reported it missing." And it was like a weird kid that way.
He's kind of like no remorse or anything like that, just going like.
It's not that, but apparently he's a dumbass fucking like serial killer.
Yeah,
like
no, but if he was young and his brother died and they didn't put him in prison,
no,
he got away with it.
No, but it depends what year. Like the whole juvie and like prison system and all of that.
I think this was like early 90s.
I guess
1900s,
like juvie.
sorry.
Yeah,
1900s, yeah.
Oh,
1900s.
No.
bro, that's like
sorry,
muskets.
sorry.
Bro, muskets.
No.
1990s.
1990s, yeah. Sorry. No.
Well, like there isn't. I mean, I think. Do you know about H.H. Holmes? No. So there was this guy. Like I think this guy is labeled as the first serial killer of the United States. So when you say inspired like stories and shit, you know the American Horror Story. His basically he has a what was the label? I think murder house that he built in Chicago. That I'm pretty sure it inspired one of the seasons of American Horror Story. So this guy, I think he was labeled as like one of the first serial killers or the first one. When he was like 13 years old, he like his brothers, his friends wanted to like scare him, some older kids wanted to scare him, whatever, that's not important, but like they grab a skull and they bring it to him to be like, ooh, like, you know,
an actual skull.
They steal from a doctor or whatever.
Okay.
Like, you know, recall. Like,
yeah.
He didn't get scared. He got fascinated by the whole idea of the skull and death and everything. So by the way, you know, some serial killers, they have like some cool story, or they have like some cool story is the wrong way of labeling it. Yeah. As in like they have like
have you heard of Ted Bundy? He had this cool way of getting women into his car.
Like, it was very actually. I mean, okay, we'll talk about him afterwards.
Yeah. The cool way is the wrong way to say it. As in like they have some story like, oh my God, this person is so fucked up. They're such a horrible person.
Do you mean sympathize? Like you sympathize with them in some ways?
No. I'm not one of those like people who are, you know, like when people are like obsessed with Ted Bundy. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like some women are like in love with him and shit.
Dude, like Charles Manson also. He had like women screaming outside.
I mean, Charles Manson has a bit of a relate to that conspiracy theory episode we had.
No, but there's a whole fascination I don't know what's the.
But
like,
his
s-
could be a bit about mind control and stuff like that. But Ted Bundy, it was just a fascination with his physical appearance that like led
in
women to
general,
him.
there's a thing with women. Well, not all women, but certain women with men in prison. There's a whole. I think this is mostly in U.S., but there's a whole community that like men in prison have girlfriends outside, and they've never met them because the girls have this
You
obsession.
know
of-
why? It's because I can change him. That's what they believe.
Maybe
It's a very big thing where I can change him. I can be the one. I can be that. Like
Yeah, but Ted Bundy, like he's killed like 50
no, but
chicks.
no. But you have to remember, like if you're talking about like first, I'll let you finish what you were talking about this guy, and you were talking about
Yeah, sorry.
He gets fascinated by skulls.
Yeah, so he gets fast. Whatever. The reason I said like the cool thing is because like in general, like in the full story, if you read it, this guy was a fucking thief and a scumbag. Not a scumbag because he killed people. Not only that, as in like he was a scumbag because like his whole fascination, like the whole like what drove him was money. Which is like, you know, like, bro, like, come on, be cool, like, be like, have a. I'm really choosing the wrong vocab here, but anyways,
be cool, wear a mask.
So be cool. You want to kill people, kill them, but don't take their money.
no, as in like his fascination, like his drive was mostly for money.
Right.
So he studies medicine, and then even when he was studying medicine, like someone like come to the room and they see a dead baby in the room, and he's like, "Oh no, I took it from the university, like the med school, because I need to practice and all these stuff." But no one knows if that was that or he just snatched the
My
fucking baby
God.
and killed them, wanted to dismember it and shit. But that's not the part. So he moves to Chicago. He defrauds a pharmacist, makes them go bankrupt. He builds a pharmacy himself, and then later on it turns it into a hotel. Basically, it's the first floor. He builds the second floor, then he builds the third floor. He says, "Oh, I also want to do. I found a new way to build a bending glass. So like, I need investors to like build a chimney inside this and all that." But he never made glass. The chimney was a way to get rid
Dispose
of
of
the
the
bodies.
bodies, yeah.
You know.
Right.
This murder house that he built in Chicago has soundproof rooms, trap doors, secret passages,
Wow.
secret hallways, and like all this way to go
like a
around.
secret room.
Secret rooms, and also gas pipes.
Secret room, like they go. Oh, it's hunting, clue hunting.
It's an escape room, but basically there was no escape because he would trap someone into.
What's the time record of getting out of this escape room? Never.
Never. Because one of his methods was he would trap people in a room, a windowless room, and he would just wait for them to suffocate and die. Or he would poison them by like releasing gas into the room and they'll die. Or he would grab them and do experiments on them while he
Wow.
you know, make them pass out. And he would take them to soundproof rooms and dismember them or dissect them and do experiments on them. So his basically how he got caught was that he went to prison for insurance fraud.
Okay.
Seriously, after killing all these people, so he goes to prison for insurance fraud, and then comes out. He makes a scheme with this person that says that, "Oh, you act like you're dead. I'll pay premium on your insurance or something like that, and then we collect the insurance when you're dead, but you're alive, and I'll give you the money." So basically, and then he ends up actually killing the guy, not saying that he's gonna be dead.
Smart, yeah.
And then goes to the wife of the deceased and says like, "Oh, he owed me this amount of money." Out of like, let's say the woman like got paid $10,000. He's like, "Oh, he owed me 10,000, but you can keep 500 because he just died," and takes 9,500. And then he gets caught for the murder of that guy. He retracted a lot of statements of the people who killed. So his kill count is from 9 to 200. That's like the...
Oh, I got you beat. I know of another one. This one was in UK. I don't remember the years. This guy's name was Harold Shipment, I think.
Dr. Death?
Yeah.
Okay.
Harold Shipment, also known as Dr. Death.
Yeah.
They think he killed near 250 people. And the way he would do it, he was an actual doctor. And they noticed the pattern that he had a lot of old patients, like over 80, and they're all healthy, like they had no immediate health conditions.
But as soon as he would go visit them, 4 hours later, they would just die. And the way they all would die is like they're all sitting at a chair and then they're just frozen there. But because he was the doctor, they would call him back, and the community trusted him. They would call him back, and he would come and issue the death certificate and say they were old, they died.
Yeah. How much would you trust someone when like, I mean, they're all old though.
And also he moved towns. And
What,
a
they
lot
have
of-
dementia? Oh, wasn't it?
No, but also a lot of the old people didn't have family members. So there was that. But the way he got caught was there was this like 80-something-year-old woman that he killed, and then when they go to do like the lawyer shit, they see that the what do you call it?
Death certificate?
The death wishes is
The
been changed.
will.
The will has been changed to, instead of giving £400,000 to her daughter, is to the name of the doctor. So basically, the dead woman is giving £400,000 to the doctor, and so they see this. They're like, okay, let us check the signatures and everything, and they see that it's fraudulent.
Oh.
Yeah, and then
Damn
when he goes to prison, they find like 15 more cases that are very similar in that area. They're like old women that died, and it wasn't the money factor, but it's just mysteriously they died. So they put him in jail for 15 murders, and then he kills himself in prison. But years after, another investigation starts, and they start going through all the counties around there and everything.
Wow.
They have an estimate of 250 people that all got put down by like painkillers, basically. And they think his obsession started with this because his mother had some lung issues when he was young, and she was getting like morphine injected into her. So they think he created this obsession that either he hated his mom, or because he saw that happening to his mom, some wires got crossed in his head. So
They
he
always
started
say
doing
a
it to
serial
her.
killer is either brought up by nature or nurture, as in like they're bad from the moment they're born.
Yeah.
Like not bad. Yeah, I mean in this case bad actually, but or nurture, as in like when something happened, and then caused them like some wires that like mixed up, and like that you have a precedent kind of a like you already are, you have the baseline for it,
Yeah.
but something like kind of triggers it, and like more and more stuff, kind of like traumatic events.
There was one. I don't remember anything about it. The only part I remember is the guy when he was young. He would piss himself a lot till he was in his like late teenage years, and his mom till his late teenage years would wash his dick and balls. So then he grew up to be like a murderer. I don't know how many people he killed, but
And he would wash them.
He would chop off the guy's dicks and balls, because somehow his wires got
By the way, I definitely have you beat, but you were gonna say something because this one's pretty dark, and I know details because this shit like got like hacked into my memory.
I think the two. I mean, I heard about this Dr. Death. Apparently,
Pretty
he's the
famous.
largest killer in terms of body count. You were talking about Ted Bundy, and he was like a Hollywood kind of star when it came to it because he was normal looking and very charming. I mean, I watched a lot of documentaries about him, and in the 1970s, I think there was something in the water in the 1970s because there was a lot of serial killers going out around 1970s.
There's still serial killers, by the way.
No,
I looked it up. Like, I really am not making myself sound good right now, but like I looked it up because like now because of technology and everything, you feel like it gets like can't leave a trail as much.
Yeah.
Like, before 1970s, because of the technology, you couldn't like just like I say, he just moved counties.
Yeah.
And it was so hard for them to catch him. But now, like one similar pattern from like a state to a state or a country to a country, they're like, wait, that's not a cold case anymore. Some with similar pattern just got like triggered. So there's still serial killers around, but like,
you know what's even sadder? It might be that we're so normalized to serial killers now that it's no longer a big thing.
I don't think it's that.
No, because if you think about it in the 70s, remember, back to Ted Bundy, right? They say that he killed around 20 women and might have killed around 70, right?
Yeah.
It was because of the lack of forensic data they had and stuff. But there were murders going around. And this guy was, you talking about the infatuation women had with him and stuff is because...
he wasn't that good looking, man.
No, he looks he looks ugly as hell. Like, But the thing is that
It's a charisma.
what?
Maybe.
No, but the charisma about him. So when he was younger, he actually never had a father. Stayed with his mother until a very young age. The place they used to stay at was these kind of houses for young mothers. They would have where they can't support themselves. So they would tell him that his mother was actually his sister. So he never thought he had a mom.
Oh.
Until later on, they told him, by the way, this is your mom. Because she was young when she had him. So he always had this notion where...
What?
Well, exactly, you're my mom.
What? You're my mom.
I wouldn't be scared of him if I heard him talk like that. You want to get in my car? But the thing is that... So he developed a
You
fast...
sound like a retard on slow
Yeah,
motion.
he started, bro. That's from California, man.
But by the way, I'm so sorry. There is a sketch on SNL
Californications.
called Californians, and they legit make fun of people in California. Like that's how they. What are you doing here, man?
It's really funny. They sound like broken records, but
Go on.
but the thing is that from a young age, Ted Bundy was like really. He noticed that he was from a poor family, so he wanted to actually be. He thought he could become a lawyer. He studied for it a bit, but he was always really good at making up stuff. So he would wear suits. He studied in a university trying to become a lawyer. Never really became a lawyer because at the end of the day, he was a shell of himself. Right? He was only good at like imitating, but never really following through.
Yeah, that's a common, I think, characteristic for psychopaths.
Yeah, they're shell. Like they don't have their own personality, and
It's
the
just
thing,
mimicking.
exactly. And the thing is that for him, a lot of people said that what they found so interesting about him is because he looked like every guy, but then when you looked into his eyes, it was just like dead. Like there was something behind that was really malicious.
Do you know Chris Stefano,
Yes.
the comedian?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you see the clip of him?
No. Which one?
On Rogan?
No. Which one?
No, basically on Rogan, he was saying that like his mom's friend, at a very young age, like 17 years, she went on a date, and then while on the date, like she just sees the guy, she's like kind of creeping me out, calls her brother on the payphone and says like, come pick me up now, stays in the bathroom until the brother comes, and just gets in the car and leaves, ditches the guy. And then the next day when the brother was had a paper route, so while the brother was leaving in the morning, he sees some guy in the bushes. And then the guy like runs out and he comes in. He's like, "Oh, this guy wearing this jacket and everything was in the bushes and shit." She's like, that's the guy that was on a date with yesterday.
Wow.
And then 2-3 years later, Ted Bundy comes on the TV. She's like, "That's the guy I was on a date with." And then like she was like, the moment she sat on the date, I guess people found him good looking. She said that his looks, like he was like disfigured. He looked like. Apparently, when he went to catch his prey, like he was preying on women,
It's called hunter eyes.
his face changed. Like it went empty. His soul wasn't there. Like that. And then she was like, I just got freaked out and left.
I actually have a story of a family member. I think this was a couple of decades ago. I heard this story when I was young,
Was it
but
Ted Bundy?
no, in Iran there was a serial killer. That
Ahmad Bundy.
No, in Iran there was a serial killer that I think he would pick up women in a taxi car.
Yeah.
But from the inside, all the door handles were removed and everything. So once you got in, there's no going out, and then he would take them and kill them, I think.
Okay.
But so apparently he picked up this family member, and somehow on the way out of Tehran, where she lived, he lets her out, which is she's the only victim that he's ever let out. The thing we don't know is, did the guy get like, I don't know, a moment of empathy, or was she so ugly that
Wow.
Or how talkative is your family? Like,
yeah.
imagine like, so yeah, I was on the way. It's like, get the fuck out. Get out. I don't want to fucking
No,
go.
But that's the
No,
thing.
sorry, Ted Bundy. Like we're getting like. Or did I cut you off again?
I think it's like 8 times you guys cut me off.
Bro,
Honestly.
it happens a lot on the podcast. Let's continue.
Okay,
Gonna
Ted
say
Bundy.
something? No. So I mean, like you also made a point now about the
Ugly family member?
no. It's more of the when you look at it in the sense of, do they have that moment of what am I doing here, and they stop, right? Like Ted Bundy never had that, and the thing is that you know, when you see, so people would see him, he was well spoken, very charming, educated in a way, right? And then the murders he would do is like he became an animal. So one of the things, he picked up a girl who was hitchhiking. She was trying to go to her school, and the guy was like, "Oh, come in, you know, we'll talk and stuff." He drove past her school, but still talking to her and stuff. And then he parked on a ridge near a park and just turns around and says, "You know, I'm going to kill you now." Like he just looks at her and says, "I'm going to kill you right now," and then just starts choking her. So she gets out of the car, and he's like, she forgets what happens, and he's choking her, and she wakes up, and you know, he says to her, go back to sleep. Like he tells her, like, go back to sleep, and like she's like, "No, you're choking me," and he goes, "I'll stop choking you if you stop struggling."
That's a weird conversation.
Wait, I got confused.
No,
You
but
said she got out of the car.
So she, when he was trying to choke her, she managed to get out in the beginning, and then she doesn't remember what happened. She was on the floor, and he was on top of her with his knees on her arms, and like really going, you know, like trying to like kill her in that second.
flexible.
No, but
Oh,
it's
the
very
arm doesn't
sim-
have to be like this.
Yeah,
like,
she could be like
this.
that, you know. But the thing is that
It's like full split on her chest, like dick and balls on her neck, like choke, bitch, choke.
But the thing is that she was one of the few people survived because for some reason he was getting something out of the car thinking she was dead, and she ran into the forest and fell into a river, and the river took her. So he never got to finish the job with her. And she only came out years later, and she talked about it, and she because she was a very religious girl, she didn't want her family or anyone to think she lost her virtue by maybe what the guy did she didn't know.
Right.
You know? And the thing was that with Ted Bundy, he also had some sort of, because when they caught him, there was a prosecutor that really wanted to make a name for himself. So it was like the prosecutor versus Ted Bundy. And Ted Bundy, you know, being Ted Bundy wanting to make a show, he decided to become his own defense attorney.
Right. Yeah, I remember that from the series.
And then the guy jumps out a window. So he convinces a guard to let him go into a library to get some information for himself, defend himself. Jumps out a window, and then imagine he's made it, can't help himself. Steals a car, drives to a girl's dormitory, goes in there with a pipe, and brains a girl, and another one nearly kills her. And then while he's mutilating the one who's already dead, he leaves his bite marks on her body. Fuck. And the thing is that they could never find any evidence until the prosecutor noticed the bite marks and said, "You know what? I think," because what Ted Bundy would do is Ted Bundy would spur him on. Like when they were alone, he'd say stuff like, "You're never gonna get me. You're never gonna do this," you know, and they used those bite marks, and I think it was one of the first cases where they used dental history to get him.
By the way, right now they can't use that anymore.
Really?
It's been proven that it's not an accurate way of. Obviously, we have DNA testing and all that shit now, so they don't need it. But he actually escaped from custody twice. I don't know if you know about the second time.
I think maybe twice, but
So the second time they put him like whatever prison he was in till his court finishes. He noticed that there is like an opening in the ceiling of his in his cell. Yeah. So for I don't know 30 days or something, he starved himself to be able to fit in that hole, and he would also practice jumping from his bunk bed to like get his knees ready for when he was ready to like jump off of fucking like when like he jumped off the balcony and all of that. So he had like his brain worked, like he was smart to an extent, but just in a wrong direction.
I think it's a lot to do with being a little intelligent, but also having nothing to lose. You know what I mean? Like the guy's gonna do it regardless. But I think that's what made him so famous. And he had this very, it was like a signature move where he'd always act like he had an injured body. So how he'd pick up girls is that he'd go surfing and then say to her, like he would struggle in front of a girl and have like a cast or hold groceries and stuff.
Yeah, I
and
think
be
he'd
like,
wear a fake cast.
Yeah, a fake cast, and he'd ask you, "Oh, could you help me put it in the car?" And just like this happened a lot. And in that time in the 70s, hitchhiking was like the norm for traveling for young people.
Yeah.
And imagine police officers at the time had to stop people. Like any kid that was on the street hitchhiking, the police would pick him up and take him to like a youth center because they're like, this is just the guy's gonna go around and just kill all these
It
people.
was like peak of psychedelics and all that shit.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, like I think that the guy really was messed up in the sense of, you know, you always see them coming from a broken home, you know, and always being a product of of their surroundings, right? I don't really believe that a kid is just born bad. Yeah, I don't believe like a kid's born without the sense of remorse or sense of.
There is one, I don't know his name, but I don't know his name, so it's
There's another guy. No, there's another guy I can tell you about, and this guy freaks.
I need to piss. So
Oh.
when you see there's
Oh.
another guy, it's a good timing for
Yeah,
me
yeah.
to like.
We'll be back. We'll be back. All right, we're back. Faiza, you were saying
Yeah.
something about.
So there's another guy I heard about, and his name is like this guy is. You know, if there was anyone that was like no sense of remorse, and if wires were crossed, it was Edmund Kemper, 6'9".
Damn.
I think 350 pounds.
God damn.
150 kilos, something like that. Huge guy, bro. Huge guy. Imagine. He like they even put him in the show called Mindhunter. I don't know if anyone's seen that.
Yeah. I've
You know,
watched Mindhunter.
And the thing is that when he, so let's talk about his background, right? Was a kid that was very, very into animals. You know?
Animals or anime?
Animals.
Okay.
Anime. This was like in the 30s, 40s, you know. So he was in a home where he had his dad and mom. Okay, so he had both his parents in the beginning, but for some reason his mom was very controlling, and the father was kind of a very submissive kind of guy. And you know, whenever there was an issue that was going on, you know, his dad would always be the one that would leave the house, and you know, he would be stuck
She
with
wore
the
the
mom.
pants and the-
And he had two sisters at the time, and from a young age they mentioned that he was a very quiet kid, so he took that from his dad, where he was very, you know, reserved, didn't really say what he wanted, and like apparently he had a fascination because he didn't have any friends. He had a fascination with roadkill.
Oh, so when you say animals, it's not like he liked puppies.
No, so one of the indicators of someone being a serial killer is
Dead
there no
puppies.
remorse, meaning that they have a fascination with dead things. And the easiest thing at the time, especially in being a town like that, there was a lot of roadkill on the road.
Yeah.
So it'd be fine, like it would be for something for them to do, right? And he would do that, and then it would slowly build up and build up. But then it seemed like he suppressed it. He got 6'9". I think his mom and dad split up, and for some reason, while he was growing up, his mom thought he was the devil, so she used to lock him into the basement of the house.
What was the indication?
Oh, I
that she-
remember this from Mindhunter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's clicking.
The mom would say to him, "You're gonna stay down here because I don't know what you're gonna do to your sisters," implying that he would have sexual fantasies about his sisters.
Damn.
Yeah, so he would sleep in the it's called a cellar, right? A cellar
Yeah.
in the U.S. And he would have like, you know, one of those lights typical in the U.S., like a light bulb, and there'd be rats.
Basement, like
yeah,
he was in the-
basement,
yeah,
cellar,
yeah.
whatever. He would be down there trying to sleep, and the rats would be crawling all over him. You know, so I think from that young age he was always amped up by his mom. You know, nothing happened at the time, and then just out of nowhere, he's so lovable. Everyone in the town loves him. Says he's such a sweet guy. You know, Big Ed, because he's the biggest guy in the town, right?
6'9".
Yeah, 6'9". Dude, the cops were scared of him. Like he used to go to the police bar. You know where the
Yeah.
police have a bar, and murders were going around and stuff. And
Casual.
he bought a gun. Okay, and the thing is that a report came out saying that we need to take this guy's gun because he had a case in a different city where, you know, they need to take his gun. Like, he's not allowed to have a gun. So the police officer goes around his neighborhood where it's been addressed, sees this big guy just sitting in a car, says, "Oh, how can I help you, officer?" And he takes his gun, gives him the gun, no problems whatsoever. And then later on, more murders are happening. It's good. Yeah. So more murders are happening, and bro, the police are talking about it in the bar where he is, and they're like, "Oh, you know, we found this person's body." So he decides he wants to go live with his dad. His dad tells him, "I don't want you anymore." I think he was young. He was like in his 19s, 20s, like that. Goes back, lives with his mom.
What was the method of the killing?
I'll tell you.
Oh.
So he later on goes back and stays with his grandparents. Loses it, kills his grandma. Okay?
Fuck. Okay.
kills his grandma, and says, "You know what? I've killed my grandma. I don't want to make my grandpa sad, so I'm gonna kill him too." Yeah. So that's
It's like
his
a mercy
reasoning.
kill.
He's like, yeah. So
all is fair in the game of love and war.
no. So he kills her, and then kills the grandpa, and I don't know where he stuffs their bodies, but he starts living there. Yeah, and then years pass, and that same officer who just took the gun from him, Edmund, calls the police station, says, "Give me this guy." Calls the guy, and he goes, "I've done a bad thing." And he goes like, "What have you done?" He's like, "If you go to my house, you'll notice that I killed my mom, and I killed my mom's friend." Yeah, and I think he also mentioned about his two grandparents. And he's like, "I'm gonna come to the police station." Surrenders himself, right? They go to the house, and they find that like the house looks neat, but then when they flip over the furniture, there's blood everywhere, and they find his mom's decapitated head. Yeah, just sitting on a chair, and there's holes in it. And he had sexual activities with the head. Yeah, and the only reason he killed the friend is because he's like,
So have a look. Have a look at Barry's face.
but that's the thing. Like he did that, and then when he was killing other people, he only targeted women, and he targeted young women, 15, 16-year-olds, stuff, and he would kill them. And one thing he did, which was really terrifying, he picked up two girls. Yeah. What he would do is that he'd use, lipstick, and he would smudge it into the door so they couldn't open it when they wanted to leave the car.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what he would do is that he would drive around in the beginning and practice with girls. So he'd pick up girls, look at them and think about it and this kind of stuff, and then drop them and don't do anything to them. He'd keep doing it until he had the balls to do it. And one of them, what he did is that he had two girls. He just stabs the one in the front, goes in the back, takes her, puts her in the boot. And imagine this poor girl's hearing her friend like scream while the guy's killing her. Then he goes in the back and kills the girl. Cuts their bodies up, mutilates it. He has that sexual fantasy with it. And when they had to go and put him in prison, they were terrified because of his size. And he didn't resist, he didn't do anything like that. And then they asked him later on, why did you do it? And he's like, I don't really have any regret. And he told his whole story, and he was so cooperative with them. And they even used him as like they would ask him questions because they wanted to catch other serial killers.
Like for methods.
Yeah. So they would give him cases, and he's like, "I do it like that.
Yeah.
I do it like that."
Like an expert witness type of.
So he was like their best candidate because he himself had. So they said he had no vile like intentions. He just didn't give a regard about any person. Like life to him was nothing. So if he took your life, it didn't mean that, but it wasn't personal.
Was he the one that he said that the only murder he regret was his grandmother's? Was he the one?
Maybe
or no, was it
grandfather. I guess.
no, grandmother. I think.
I think so. I think so.
There was a serial killer that I remember distinctly saying that the only like killed a whole bunch of people, but said the only one he regrets is his grandmother. But I don't know if it was this one or not.
I don't know honestly, but
Have you guys watched Blackbird?
yes.
You watched?
He's
Did
the
you?
one
I told
who
you about it.
suggested it.
Never
Yeah.
mind. It's a really good show, guys. Go watch it. It's
Based on a
about-
true story.
Based on a true story, this guy gets caught. He's like a fraud type of guy, gets caught, but he's really good like talking with people and manipulating people. So they offer him a deal that if he goes to prison and becomes best friends with a serial killer and gets confessions from him, they reduce his sentence.
Who's
Nah.
autistic, by the way?
Who's autistic as fuck.
But what a great actor.
Yeah.
What
the
a great actor.
The actor
man.
is not autistic. The serial killer was autistic.
To be honest, I
Yeah.
believe he's autistic because he's so good.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. But
I
go
mean,
watch that show. That's a
It's
really
like,
good show.
the show The Good Doctor.
I am a surgeon.
I'll watch that.
So he's an autistic kid who's a doctor.
Okay.
The actor plays the autistic kid so well.
All I'm imagining is he's in the surgery room and just sees like the patient's test. He's like, boobies. Like, in the
I mean,
middle
it's
of
not okay. He's a doctor, so he's a smart.
you know those
autistic.
surgeries that like
No, but he's
they
autistic.
just-
He's autistic when it comes to emotions. So he's normal, but he just doesn't know how to act on his
No,
emotions.
there's such a
think-
large spectrum of autism, but like I'm saying, but the general point is that the actor plays that kid so well that I actually had to look him up
to see if he was autistic.
You know who's the? Did you watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp?
Okay, he's autistic.
Yeah.
You know that kid, the main character, Charlie.
Yeah.
We grew up, obviously grew up, the adult is the actor. He's such a good actor.
You know, Joey from Friends, right?
Yeah.
Apparently obviously it was a very successful show and they translated it to every fucking language. Apparently somewhere in the translation it got lost and people actually thought that Joey and the actor are the same character. So when they would meet him in other countries, they would treat him like he's a dumb, actually like as dumb as Joey is.
Wow.
So Matt, what's his last name?
Don't remember.
Matt LeBlanc?
Matt LeBlanc, yeah. So well, he's not a dumb guy, but like the way they would talk to him, like fans interact with him, like
that's I just believe that's like the fans being an idiot. Like there's no way,
but like sometimes like the role that someone plays, you just attach them so strong. Like Cersei from Game of Thrones.
It ruins careers. It ruins careers.
Like Jennifer Aniston is the only one that's not associated with as Rachel from the Friends, like actually.
But a lot of them also at the same time don't really have to work anymore because they make millions.
None of them have to work anymore.
But Jennifer,
you never know.
But also,
Like
if you look at it, like
Chandler.
Jennifer Aniston wasn't really a very big piece in Friends. Like she'd say a couple of things, but it was always the two other stars, like Ross. For me, Ross was like.
See, I completely agree on it. That's how I feel. But according to Bardi and others, she was the center point of the story. Which you told me this, remember? You or your wife told me this.
I guess
That she was like the center point of the story.
she was to an extent, but like the worst, like as a side character, even though like Chandler's like one of my favorite ones, as like a side story character was Phoebe and Chandler mostly, and then Joey, and then Monica. But the main it was Ross and Rachel.
The thing
whole
is,
story.
if you listen to interviews with the writers and the director of the show, they specifically, with the dialogue and the jokes, every episode they would create a percentage that everyone has equal amounts of lines and.
I mean,
So-
it's not about the line; it's about the storyline itself. But by the way, about the whole character thing, the funny part about it is actually Friends. I only know about this show. That's how it was. We're really sidetracking.
Yeah.
By the way, when they were creating the show, basically, they had a rough idea of like what the character would be.
Yeah.
When it came to casting the actors for the character itself, when they decided on the actor, then they fully developed the character of the show.
Yes.
So, for example, when Phoebe, the actor,
Yeah.
I don't know her name, came, they had a rough idea. While getting to know her,
They
then they
refined it.
fully develop and
No,
complete
but
the
they do
character.
that a lot. A lot of, especially for more well-known actors, like they write roles with a certain actor in mind, hoping that everything will align and the person will accept it and all of that.
No,
Like-
but they don't fully fit. Like it's just like imagine you grab a
Yeah, true,
stone,
true.
you
Yeah.
kind of break some areas, and then when you
Yeah.
mold it into. Anyways, you were talking about the serial killer.
The fuck his mom's brain.
he specifically picked brain. It's like brain.
well-
But yeah, so
I don't know where he was aiming for. But
So then they found out that, when they were talking to him, he just opened up about his whole life. He actually had murdered someone before, but they counted him not responsible, but he still had to go to juvie. And in juvie, he had like a doctor that was messed up, hypersexualized him in a way, So he is I would say he was also there was a big product of his environment.
this is what I was going to ask you, since you know way more about this and I don't remember at all. Do you think, from what they showed in the shows and everything, do you think the mom was right and he had the darkness to him from the beginning, or the way the mom put him with the rats in the basement and all that shit turned him into someone that do you think?
That's actually a very funny thing you say, because while I was reading up about him,
Weren't you laughing a bit?
no, it's interesting because that's exactly what they think. They're like, was she wrong for worrying about that? But he was young. He was
I think
young.
she was, because it's the reaction, and he could have been obsessed with killing birds, or having a roadkill, but this kind of a female figure who's a strong figure driving the dad away and then reacting towards him like that could have And then
But
his
golf-
first you have to think of the circus have trophies, right?
Yeah.
So like having the mom's head on the chair and then having it sexually assaulted.
Yeah, he
Like,
belittled
it's-
her the way she belittled him. You
I have a
know,
question. God forbid, hypothetical, all of that, right? Let's say when we have children, we find out like one of your kids it has a darkness to it. It has a kind of Dexter vibe, like that kind of shit. Like my initial thought would be to keep the kid around till he's like 18 and like train them to send them to the military. Because if you have an obsession with killing people,
Just go over thinking about it. Yeah.
the closest thing to a legal way, it's not exactly the way that like, okay, serial killers have obsession with a certain type of murder, but if the kid is to
An
the
outlet.
point, yeah, if you can to a point like tell the kid like the way Dexter's father in the show groomed him to only kill bad people, if there's that capability, I would think that would be the only way I can think of that, like to raise your kid not to murder people.
I think again, like, God forbid one of us have kids that, you know, you see that they're not as... See, I wouldn't say they have a darkness to them. I would say that the kid is more awkward. Because, remember, it starts like that, right? And then...
Emotionally detached.
Yeah, they're emotionally attached. And then, you know, the parents don't notice it right away. And the kid feels further isolated. And parents are like, oh, no, he'll grow out of it because the kids are not talking and they're bullying him. I think being able to identify it and then treating it in a way that, okay, not all serial killers, like, I mean, like, okay, you could train them in a way that, you know, listen, do you understand that you have emotions? You know, like, by you telling them that you're not abnormal for not having that can really help. Like, if you give a kid a psychiatrist, don't put him in an institute, but have someone
Or
he
in
can
a
talk
basement
to.
with a bunch of rats.
Yeah, do you
know,
think that helped? Like,
No,
do you think that helped?
definitely
So, I mean, like,
You're special, Harry.
no, but that's the thing. Like, you know, I think that, okay, he might have been a weird kid, but, you know, you remember as a child, you take your environment as what is the norms, right? When you have a father who didn't stand up for you and then runs, and apparently he loved his father, like his role model was his father. So when he went to go and live with his father told him, again, didn't pick up the responsibility and said, you go live with someone else, you know? And then you have a mother who ridicules you. And, you know, as a man, I believe that, especially when you're growing up, you know, pride in yourself is very important. To be belittled by people, especially if they are someone you hold dear to you, I think it's a very, very,
That's a good
you know,
point.
like, imagine, like, you're growing up and, you know, you will become the man of your family. You'll become this, and your own mother and your own sisters and this ridicule you. Where is the basis for you to have that confidence in yourself? And then automatically, you know, like any animal in this world, you associate your history on what is dangerous, what is not, what is, you know, what is the norm and what is not. So
Why do you think most of them are men?
what do you mean, serial
Most
killers?
serial killers, yeah.
Well,
It's like 99.9% of them are men. I think there's been like only one female, like badass serial, not badass, but like
I get your point. No, but
like extreme serial killer.
I think it's one, like, I don't mean to be sexist, but like this is like one thing for sure is that like up until late, like a good amount of years ago, like up until very recently, the men were the ones in position of power. So I feel like that obsession with power, that freedom of just roaming around and doing as you like and everything had a played a
Affect
factor in it. And also, I guess, like, I don't know, it's just like the environment of like keeping one in home and like the nurture part that we're talking about the serial killer and stuff, the attitude of the parent and the environment, how they grew up and everything. A boy was more likely to just like roam around, maybe, or like, I'm just saying, like, in general, like the freedom of like going around, or like how the parents treated a daughter to a son was very different. I guess like that, those stuff, and like the sexual, like there always some sexual shit to it.
Yeah, but there's obviously, as horrible as it is, but there's a lot of stories that like with young girls that like, oh, a fucked up uncle like
I think
diddled them or some shit. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I think it's different in terms of the how we are engineered in a way, right? I think that men tend to be more direct in confrontation, right? in
More
terms of
physical as well.
more physical. The way of expressing your emotions is through physical, rather than women. It is more of, it's a less direct way, right? You can have people who, there are women who murder and there are women who do this, but not a lot of women go out there stabbing men. But rather, what they do, at least from what I've seen in these documentaries and stuff, is that they coerce or they brainwash, someone else to do it for them, or they take an indirect route because they drug the person or poison them. But that's why they usually say, of course, it's not against women, but they say poison is a woman's tool, because again, a woman. Do you think a woman can go around and overpower men in a car? She could shoot them. She could do that. But if the man grabs her or something, it's going to be. So I think,
especially if the guy is like, what do you say?
I'd
7'9" or
6'9", man, 6'9",
7'9",
fucking 150. So, but can you imagine that guy like? And if you see his photo, and we can put his photo right, he just is a mountain. And like I can only imagine these 15-year-olds having to see this guy. Just like there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. And to the last thing you see on earth is someone as cold as that.
All I'm imagining is the size of his mother's head in the hand of a guy that's 6'9", getting face fucked.
But you know what's funny? Why did he keep her? That's the thing. You see, he had love for her, but also at the same time he was like,
Maybe he wasn't done with it.
It's not about being done with it, right? It was.
I don't know. Why are you asking me? Ask him.
No. I'm saying to you,
He's saying like I do it or some shit.
No, but you're like, maybe he's not done with it.
Like I don't think he has much love for her. If you cut off your mom's head and fuck her neck, I don't think you have much love.
No, he didn't
there.
fuck her neck.
You said there was a bunch
Her
of
eye
holes in there.
holes.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah?
But I didn't ask him like, which areas and stuff. But,
Which hole?
but I mean,
Actually, that makes a lot more sense than a neck.
no, but it's what the hell? But
It's not a doll. It's not an empty place just to stick it up on the body.
no, but the thing is that like, why then keep that specific person? Why then, you guys said a lot of things about how criminals and serial killers get caught with the silliest things. It's because a lot of them, there's a method to that madness they have where, like, based on his history, you can tell he had a problem with his mom. So the person he's going to remind himself, or like maybe he tried to show that he has the power. And by the way, what was really messed up was, so he was very cooperative, right, with police officers.
Right.
And they were so comfortable with him, they could leave him alone in a room with someone. Mm-hmm. A woman came into the room and asked him questions.
Changed
Alone.
the dynamic.
He switched. And he got up. He didn't touch her. Just like lifted the table, stood up, and he didn't want to talk to her. He started shouting and stuff. And that's a guy who doesn't lose his cool at all.
Damn.
That was his trigger.
She was just in there. She asked him a couple questions. He answered it and then just flipped.
Just reminded me of there was a serial killer. It was in an Asian country. I don't remember which country it was, but he would what was it? He would like do horrible things to children, like really young children, like 5-year-old, 4-year-olds and shit. But what he would do is after they would bury the children, after they were dead, he would go and dig up their bodies, take body parts or clothes and stuff, mail it to the parents, or he would call the parents for months, like day after day, and just say the last words that the kids said and everything. Like he would torment the parents like
That's
that.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like when I said I'm going to up you, I'm going to up all of you with this one, because this one is never going to leave my memory. This, like,
Thanks for sharing.
this one legit was like I needed like second. I'm like, holy fuck.
Wow,
Okay.
if Body said that, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a kind of a holy fuck moment for me. Okay.
Holy fuck.
Okay. Legit trigger warning, because
He was gonna say
I mean, if they
legitness.
stuck it till this point, I think they can stick
no,
to the rest of
this is about to get full dark. Okay.
Okay.
It's about to get full dark.
Yeah.
Till now we're doing chocolate milk.
Compared to this guy.
Okay.
So his name is Pedro Lopez,
Okay.
called the Monster of the Andes.
Okay. You piece of shit.
Okay.
The way he said the most of the out of the past.
Remind me of Ibrahim. Okay, I remember like, so he was in Colombia. He's from Colombia, and from a very young age, his father died, I think. So, and they were very poor, and they had like the mom had like 13 kids.
Jesus.
You know,
She didn't pause.
she just
Fucking dog.
pretty much.
It's like 2 liters
So
full.
at the very young age, the mom, because she wanted to earn money, she started like what's the right word
Selling
for
herself.
hoeing out? She started being a prostitute.
Selling her body.
Yeah, selling her
If
body.
you're gonna say the hoeing out, there's no point in saying the correct.
What's the correct word for being a slut?
So
She was
she
sucking dick for a dime.
She went through she took up the profession of prostitution. So at a very young age, she was like exposed to all of this, and then at the age of 6, apparently he tried to like What happened?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say at the age of 6 he was the first customer.
Oh my god!
Mama.
What does this candy give me? So at the age of 6, he, I think he almost or something, like he almost got to sexually like kind of play, because he wasn't aware. He was about to like grab his sister or something. So the mom was like, "What the fuck?" and throws him out of the house, throws him in the street. So he started like living with the poor, like legit poor, like homeless people, like homeless kids and stuff. And that time, like there's a lot of them. By the age of 8, 2 years being in the streets,
Wait, at 6 years old he was in the street?
yeah, he got thrown off into the streets. And at the age of 8, this guy comes to him and says, "Let me take you in and I'll feed you and everything. You shouldn't live in the streets." Like, feels bad for the kid. He takes him and takes him to an abandoned area and the kid. Him.
Wow.
So imagine as an 8-year-old, you're like, warm food, warm house. Nope, you're getting raped.
Do you like sausage?
You're getting it.
Two eggs and so. Oh my god.
It's got an English breakfast, isn't it?
This is more like a. Wait, what? Andes? Where's the Andes?
It's a
Cum?
glass of
Colombia?
milk. It's a glass of hot cum.
Bro, what the fuck? So that happens to him. He goes, obviously, like gets thrown back into the streets. At the age of 10,
He did more work than his mom.
no, he only had one customer.
Imagine they're both
And
on the
didn't get
same
paid.
street. Hey, bitch, get out my street!
It's my corner.
Oh my god, he's 10 years old, man.
No, that's 8. At the age of 10, an American couple
Oh,
moved
no.
to Colombia. Feel bad for him, find them, and they actually take him in this time.
The last time they, we feel
By the
bad.
way, imagine like the trauma the kid
Yeah.
has at the age of 8, bro. At the age of 10, they take him in, like warm food, all this, put him into school, not warm dick, warm food. For
Can you imagine when he eats the food, he just goes to the guy's pants. Hey, no need.
No, you don't need to. So
Today's orientation. Tomorrow that starts.
oral teacher.
Oh my
keep
God.
forgetting we're talking about kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh fuck yeah, you're right.
Oh.
Yeah. So at the age of 10, they put him in school, give him education and all that.
In America or still in
No,
Colombia?
Colombia.
Okay.
This American couple like moved to
They
Colombia.
moved Colombia.
So he's there, like he lives in their house and has the school and education and all that till the age of 12. A teacher molests him,
God damn.
right? It's like, so he obviously like it brings back the trauma when he was 8 and everything. So he immediately he goes to, I don't know, like the principal of whatever. He grabs some cash, he steals from the school, and he just leaves, goes back to the street, not to see the American couple again or anyone else again.
At what age?
12. So he goes back to the streets, and then he picks up like car theft, and he becomes pretty good at it. All this goes on. At the age of 18, he gets caught. So he gets caught for car theft and gets sentenced to prison for 2 years. On the second day of being in prison.
He gets ripped.
Yeah.
Oh my
4 members
Oh no.
of the prison. No, it's like inmates in prison. Gang him.
Oh my god.
Why are you laughing?
Well, you laughed as
No,
well.
I sneezed.
Yeah. So, but this time, he goes and kills the first one, the second one separately, third one, and almost like heavily injures the fourth person. He got
Good on
stopped
him.
by
Good on
the
him.
fourth
Did a
person.
hat trick.
Yeah, on the 3 out of 4. You know, like
No, but
3
good
and a
on-
half. You can't. Like the guy
yeah.
went to like.
But good on
almost
him. Good on him.
Yeah, so he does that.
I have a feeling this story is gonna take a turn, so let's not support him too highly.
Don't
No,
wait
for there. I'm saying that was
No,
good. Like,
Yeah.
So and basically the prison like system didn't give shit that he was killing people in the,
That's food
the
to feed,
prison
yeah.
because they were like, oh, this justified, whatever. I guess maybe he gets like a bit longer sentence, but like not that much. Like anyway, he comes out
Eye for a cock.
and
oh my god.
that was really good. That was really good. No problem. Nice. So this is where it gets fucked up.
Bro, it hasn't been great so far.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Bro, from 6
We're
to 10,
talking-
you've been
we're
shaking
talk-
that ass.
But we're
This
talking
guy's
about
asshole
a
is wider than the fucking tunnel in Palm Jumeirah.
yeah, but we're talking about a serial killer here.
Not yet.
Be-
Well, actually, he killed
This
3.
is the making of the serial killer.
Okay.
And this is where it starts. So I'm gonna skip all the details about like how, where, when.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
get to the how actually, but basically from I need to make sure. From 1973 till 1977,
I told you there's something in the 70s.
Yeah, okay.
he killed 110 8 to 12-year-old girls from in Colombia. From 1978 to 1979, he killed 50 to 80 8 to 12-year-old girls.
Wow.
From 1979 to 1980, he killed 140 8 to 12-year-old girls.
In 1 year?
In 1 year.
So wait. Each point, they're not collated, right?
From 1973 to
So
1977.
total was 140.
110, and then 50 to 80, and then 140. So 140 plus 100, 250.
shit.
And then another 80, so 330 murders of 8 to 12-year-old kids.
Fuck. How did he not get caught?
So basically, from 1978 to 1979, where he did the 50 to 80 kills, wasn't in Colombia. He did it in Peru. And from 1979 to 1980, the 140 kids that he killed were in Ecuador.
Oh, fuck.
So first he moved, that's for one. And two, because of the situation at the time of there with the civil war and everything that was happening, there were a lot of poor people.
Yeah.
A lot of poor people's kids didn't have documentation or legal documentation. And not a lot of them came forward for like a missing kid
yeah.
and all that.
My
But when
God.
it was in Ecuador, imagine in a 1 year span, 140 kids gets disappear and die. So when this happened, people became more and more aware, and he gets caught. So how he did it, I'm gonna be as light as I can, but this is how he did it, and this is what I meant the trigger warning actually for this part.
My
So he
God.
didn't target rich kids.
Yeah, poor kids the easiest.
Poor kids, because the rich kid they'll be more protected over, and like they'll be more aware of their kids. So he lured poor girls, but he didn't like kidnap them. He lured them. He'll be like, hey, like, and
Befriend them and stuff.
befriend them and stuff. So basically the reason that if you realize the 8 to 12 is that the first time he got molested, and then not molested, and then at 12 years old, then when he
In
got
his
that,
school, yeah.
his view was that I want to stop them to grow up, because when this is the world, I'm gonna keep them at their innocence. And his eye for the kids that he lured in were the ones who had innocence in their eyes. And the way he did it was that he would lure the kids, take them to the edge of a city. He would them, and then talk. This at nighttime, talk to them throughout the night, lay next to them, talk to them throughout the night, give them hope that he's going to let them go and they're going to live. And at dawn, when the sun would come up, because he wanted to see the innocence and the life that's in their eyes, he would sexually like rape them again at dawn. And then he would proceed with killing them because he wanted to make sure to see the light go out of their eyes.
Oh my God.
And then he would bury them. And then he would dig them back up again.
Oh my Jesus.
Talk to them for a while, chit chat with a dead body. That's why he referred to his victims as dolls.
Oh man.
Get bored of them after talking to them for a while, and then bury them again, and then go for a next one. And then think about it, 140 within 365 days of the year. That means that he did it on average every 2 days.
Yeah.
So sometimes he would go to the same area and then bury them. Like they found like 50 in like one area. Just like fucking cemetery.
Can you imagine this guy goes to the police officer? There's a lot of hills here. What the hell?
That's how they found some of them. So he gets caught. He go like and then how he gets caught over whatever it was, how he got him, like how they got him to confess is one of the police officers for a span of a month acted as a rapist and went to share the cell with him and got him to give information out. But he had a God, what do you call it?
God complex?
God complex. So he thought he was like,
God.
he gives life and takes it, kind of a thing like that. So he proceeds, like, he just boasts about it. He's so proud about it. Like, when they took him to the sightings of, like, where all the, like, bodies were buried, he grabbed the skull and, like, put it like this. He's like, take a picture of me. Like, stuff like that. Like, to the police officer while he's there. Wow. And then people would, like, go and, like, attack him. And the police legit had to, like, disguise him as one of the police officers. So they'll actually lead them to where the sightings of where the bodies were buried. Ecuador had a really shitty judicial system at the time. So if you were caught for 2 crimes, whatever, you only get sentenced for one of them. So if he killed 140, he's still getting the sentence of 1.
What?
So he got sentenced to 16 years only of prison in Ecuador. That's it. It's legit.
What the fuck?
Wait. So, but he gets released after 14 years on good behavior.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, of course, because there's no fucking 8 to 12-year-old girls there, so of course he's going to get out on good behavior.
Legit, basically he was hooked on this, like, there's this thing that's like the cocaine, because Colombia.
The cocoa leaves.
The cocoa leaf at the bottom of the barrel was like mixed with acid, whatever it is, like the fucked up shit. Like there's a cigarette thing that he was hooked on, like he was smoking. That causes a lot of fucked up shit to your head. So they said
already?
Like,
yeah, like he didn't have enough. Yeah.
No, he was hooked on that when he was 9 years old, when he was in the street. Like since then he was like smoking that. Sorry, like details. Again, like these are the specific things that are in my head. Like
the 300 and something gets you. So.
Bro, like I was like, when I read that, I was like, holy shit. Anyways, he gets released. I think in Colombia he gets like gets taken to Colombia because like he was in Ecuador without a visa. So he goes to Colombia and everything. His whereabouts are unknown.
Oh, till this day?
To this day, they don't know where he is. He got released out of the prison.
I think he'll kill him.
He's still there. In 2003 or something like that, another death, I think in Colombia, linked and like kind of gave out the warning that this is the same person, but they didn't find them. He could still be out there.
How old would he be if he's alive?
But he was, 1973, he was like around 18, like let's say what, like from
So in his like 60s,
50s,
70s.
60s, 70s. So he could still be alive. It's not like he died of old age.
Jesus, man.
So he's still alive.
Yeah, that was dark, yeah.
So that was
pretty dark.
on that note.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode.
Thank you for wanting to tell me about like the way to kill people. And, like,
thanks for watching, guys, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go kill myself now.
Well, no.
But subscribe.
Yeah. Let's plant bamboo.
Can you imagine like lying belly first and staring at it? It's coming. It's coming.
No, because
bamboo.
It goes in your dick first. If you're laying,
Why would they put your?
if you're laying that's the most like out of your body part. If you're laying,
Oh wait, so they're gonna spread it all over? I thought like one part.
No, they just had it.
Anyway,
Can someone turn the AC on so it's? Damn.
So pissing on the bamboo so it dies. Like every time
It grows faster. No.
Fuck, got a protein shake yesterday.
Yeah, because that's what they're serving in prison. Yeah. Yo, you got
The
your.
day right before they caught you.
I thought I gotta be yoked for this prison sesh, man. Like, I'm gonna get jacked when I get back.
Fucking pissing testosterone on the bamboos.
You got some asparagus?
Out of each seat, there's like 3 coming out.
Jeez, but yeah, thanks for the.
Thank you guys for watching this episode of Cancellable Podcast. If you like this
Thanks
kind
for
of
the trouble.
content, don't forget to subscribe and like the videos, and also follow us on social media accounts. Here,
Thank you guys.
yeah. See you guys.
Thanks,
next week.
Bardia.
Yeah. Cheers. Well, cheers.